Why do we keep inviting these people into our homes? There's nothing more horrifying than unwanted houseguests, those who suck you dry until you're nothing more than a husk, those who seem fun at first but leave chaos in their wake, and the worst ones, those that just won't leave. Adventure Time doesn't just have all of these, it's practically a guidebook for spotting them before they invade your life. Have you ever met someone who seems sweet and innocent at first, but somehow leaves you completely drained after every interaction? That's Tree Trunks in Adventure Time. On the surface, she's a charming, pie-baking, tiny elephant with a soft voice and a big heart. But beneath that wholesome exterior is someone who constantly pulls others into her emotional storms. Take the episode Tree Trunks, where Tree Trunks invites Finn and Jake on a quest to find the legendary crystal gem apple. Sounds innocent, right? Except it's anything but. She's unprepared, overly naive, and regularly distracts the group with her whims, putting them all in danger. At one point, she tries to flirt with a monster to get past it, a plan that fails spectacularly, leaving Finn and Jake to clean up her mess. By the end, she eats the apple they worked so hard to find, and it seems like she's dead. She's not, although I kind of hope she was. Sorry, not sorry. Fast forward to Apple Wedding, where Tree Trunks' messy love life takes center stage. All her ex-husbands show up to her wedding to Mr. Pig, sparking a drama-filled scene complete with yelling, accusations, and near disaster. Once again, others, including Princess Bubblegum, are left to deal with the fallout of her drama. Tree Trunks embodies what psychologists often call an emotional vampire, someone who unconsciously drains the emotional energy of those around them. These people aren't necessarily malicious. Like Tree Trunks, they might just be living out their unresolved emotional chaos. This idea ties closely to Carl Jung's concept of the shadow. The shadow is the part of ourselves that we suppress or deny, often because it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. Emotional vampires, like Tree Trunks, project their shadow outward, turning their inner turmoil into external drama that others are forced to deal with. She doesn't mean to create chaos, but her inability to confront her own issues, like her need for attention or her impulsivity, means she unintentionally drags everyone else into her problems. And I think she knows this about herself. That's why she always gives out free pies. I think it's the only way she can get people to engage with her. So how do you deal with emotional vampires? It's all about boundaries. Recognizing when someone is pulling you into their drama and deciding how much energy you're willing to give is key. People like Tree Trunks can be easy to manage if you approach the situation proactively, but this next person is much more difficult to handle and remove from your life once they get too much. Let's talk about the one friend everyone regrets inviting over, the one who thrives on pure, unfiltered chaos. Enter Magic Man, the walking disaster of Adventure Time. Some men just want to watch the world burn. I think Batman's Alfred said that. But that is MM in a nutshell. In Freak City, Magic Man first appears as a seemingly harmless traveler in need of help. Finn, being the kind-hearted hero he is, gives him a sugar cube. How does Magic Man repay this act of generosity? By turning Finn into a giant foot. A giant foot. And that's just the start. Magic Man offers no explanation for his actions, other than, it's not my fault you can't handle the chaos I bring, leaving Finn to deal with the existential crisis of being a pedal extremity. Then there's Sons of Mars, where Magic Man's antics escalate even further. He swaps bodies with Jake to avoid punishment from his brother, Grob Gob Glob Grod, for his past crimes on Mars. The result? Finn and Jake are dragged into intergalactic drama, complete with space gods, giant heads, and existential dilemmas. Once again, Magic Man breaks everything and f***s off. He's the ultimate chaos bringer. He thrives on unpredictability and leaves a trail of destruction wherever he goes. Nietzsche said, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." In other words, chaos can inspire creativity, if it has purpose. But Magic Man's chaos lacks purpose, destabilizing rather than inspiring. In psychological terms, Magic Man represents people who are emotionally or behaviorally volatile. These individuals often seek out chaos because it provides them with a sense of power or control, especially when they feel powerless in other areas of their lives. Disorder makes them feel whole. To us, their unpredictability might be exciting at first, but it quickly becomes exhausting when you're constantly dealing with the anarchy. Chaos bringers teach us the importance of protecting our stability. While a little chaos can be invigorating, too much can leave you scrambling to rebuild what's been destroyed. Setting boundaries with people like Magic Man isn't about rejecting spontaneity, it's about preserving what you've worked hard to build. But as chaotic and destructive as Magic Man is, he's not the worst. Our third house guest takes intrusiveness to a whole new, ear-piercing level. Let's talk about the absolute worst of the worst, the pure horror of the overstayer. You know the type. They show up uninvited, make themselves comfortable, and refuse to leave no matter how many hints you drop. In Adventure Time, this archetype is perfectly embodied by none other than Lemongrab, the walking shriek of boundary-breaking awkwardness. In You Made Me, Lemongrab starts off as Princess Bubblegum's first attempt at creating life. Unfortunately, something goes horribly wrong, and Lemongrab ends up, well, let's just say he's not exactly charming. He's overly sensitive, aggressively critical, and socially unaware, to the point of making the whole vibe cringy for everyone. He marches into Princess Bubblegum's castle, declares himself the rightful heir to her throne, in the most obnoxious way possible, and proceeds to set up camp. And does he leave? Of course not. Instead, he overstays his welcome, creates tension with everyone around him, and enforces his bizarre rules with his signature ear-piercing scream, "Unacceptable!" This overstaying escalates even further in Too Old. Lemongrab has taken over his own kingdom and turned it into a dystopian nightmare, complete with creepy clones and weird, oppressive rules. But even after Princess Bubblegum visits and tries to help, Lemongrab refuses to change or let go of his overbearing, controlling nature. He's the kind of guest who not only overstays his welcome, but tries to take over your entire house, and maybe your life. His behavior can be tied to Jean-Paul Sartre's concept of the other from existentialist philosophy. Sartre suggests that other people have the power to shape and even define our experience of the world, often in ways that infringe upon our autonomy and who we are. Lemongrab, as an overstayer, is a living, screaming reminder of this. He invades Princess Bubblegum's space and imposes his own needs and personality so forcefully that her castle becomes a reflection of him, not her. Overstayers will turn your home or your life into their own personal kingdom, forcing you to deal with their demands and disruptions. Lemongrab's a cautionary tale about the importance of setting and enforcing boundaries. People like him will not leave on their own, so it's up to you to protect your space and your peace of mind. Reclaiming your space isn't rude, it's necessary. And if they don't listen, maybe channel your inner Princess Bubblegum and start yelling, "Unacceptable!" Unwanted house guests come in many forms, but Adventure Time warns us about 3 of the worst. The emotional vampire like tree trunks, who drains your energy with constant drama, the chaos bringer like Magic Man, who leaves destruction in their wake, and the overstayer like Lemongrab, who refuses to respect your boundaries. Thankfully, Adventure Time also offers clues on how to deal with them. For emotional vampires, it's about setting boundaries and deciding how much energy you're willing to give. Chaos bringers remind us to protect our stability and prioritize preserving what we've worked hard to build. And for overstayers, it's crucial to reclaim your space, firmly but unapologetically.